cleaned up?
Oh, yeah.
So how does he do that?
We got to be better with our technique. I mean, some of those, we've had some costly penalties that have shown up in every game. And certainly if it's going to come back to bite us if we don't get it cleaned up. And that's something that we addressed. I mean, we address it every day, but certainly talked about it again today. And we just got to get back to practicing with good fundamentals. I think that's a big part of it. And just being dialed in each and every play.
Goes. I mean, you could be engaged in a perfectly legal position, and then the guy goes.
Yeah, I think certainly that happens, no doubt about it. But you got to make sure if your hands are outside the framework, there's a good chance you're going to get called. You got to keep your hands tight. We always teach that. And then when you feel a guy trying to peel away from you, you got to let him go.
That was what Jordan did before the game. Was that just a conditioning workout because he wasn't going to play?
Yeah, we're just trying to get him back as soon as possible.
So that was not tested out to see.
No.
Okay.
What's the plan for this week with him since we're on that subject?
You always want to know. I'm sure he'll be limited, and then work it day by day.
Did he take any team reps last week?
Yes.
So he should be able to take some even more this week?
Well, we'll see. I mean, again, I think anybody that saw what happened to him, I mean, that's a legitimate injury. So, you know, he's working through it. He's doing everything in his power. He wants to be out there, and, you know, we want him out there.
What do you think of what Kingsley and Lucas gave you yesterday, and then also just the benefit of that, being able to have edge rushers like that that can come in a rotation?
Well, I think you saw the value of that in the fourth quarter. When you have edge rushers, and whether it's edge rushers or interior rushers that are fresh, you can really get after an offense. And you could, I mean, that second half, we were pretty dominant up front. And it's always a combination of the rush and the coverage. I think we did an outstanding job of covering their receivers, and then half dialed up some timely blitzes that were very effective. And I just think that the best teams typically are teams that, especially the best pass rushes, when you have a lot of people that are capable, the more you can keep those guys fresh, I think they all benefit from it. I mean, we had 8 sacks in a game. I can't remember the last time I've seen 8 sacks in a game. It's been a while.
What's standing out to you about the way Devontae Wyatt has played this first 3 weeks?
He's just doing a great job coming off the ball, and that's one of the things that we loved about him coming out of the draft, is that he has got that great initial quickness, and just doing a great job.
Matt, you mentioned depth before. You didn't have Valentine in the secondary yesterday. How'd you feel Stokes did? There was the one tough one with Hopkins on the back.
Yeah, he's one of the best in ball at doing that, and you know, it's a tough play on him, and the guy made a great play. So I think all in all, I thought he played pretty well. I mean, he had a really nice play on one of the screen passes where we were in cover 2, and he triggered and got the back down. I thought all in all, he played pretty well.
Both him and Watson, are you seeing the value now of them getting all the way through training camp unscathed and getting us string together week after week after week?
With him and who?
Watson.
Oh, Christian?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, you're talking corner play, and then you throw Watson out there. Are you talking about just their ability? Yeah, absolutely. Their ability to be back in it. Christian is another guy that I thought obviously had 2 huge plays in that game that led to points. And I thought he had a great week of practice. And I think that's where it starts for us is you got to go out there and be deliberate and intentional in your practices. And typically that's going to carry over to the game.
Hey, Matt, you said yesterday that we can't fathom what Malik has done. So I had a couple of questions that maybe you could help me fathom it a little bit better.
We still won't be able to understand it.
Believe me, I'm aware. But I think this is one hell of a story. And it's a hell of a story what he did, and it's a hell of a story what you and your staff have done. So you get him in the trade. How much do you know about him?
Not very much.
So then you're on the plane back from Brazil, And what are you and Steno and Tom Clements all talking about? Because you don't know if, you're thinking the worst, so you know you're probably gonna have to go with them the next week. So
I think we're all sleeping.
those 10.5 hours, you didn't sleep the whole time, right?
Pretty close. I mean, it took a while to get to sleep. Obviously, you watch, I mean, for me, I watched every phase of the game. And then, you start thinking about what you have to do. And, we had an extra practice on that Monday. I think that initially we weren't going to practice on that Monday. We were going to do more, just condition them. But I thought it was important, given the circumstances, to go out there and practice our team. Why wouldn't you take advantage of that? I mean, I don't even know if he had taken a 2-minute drive up until that point. So, just to try to get him as many reps as possible. You're talking about the most critical position on the football field, the guy that touches the ball on every play. So it was kind of a crash course into trying some things out and just see how comfortable he was with them. But like I've said many times, I think it's also when you get in a game week and you have a specific plan, it is a little bit easier for the guys to digest and to at least know what to do. But it's the application of it, because it's impossible. Reps are at a premium in terms of practice. You can't go out there and, I mean, you're going to get about 35 to 40 practice reps per side of the ball each day. And so it's really tough when you're talking about an entire game plan to give the guys as many looks as you'd like to get them at each concept that you're doing, because not only are you doing it in the pass game, but then you got your runs on top of that. So just to get the number of reps that where a guy might feel really comfortable with what we're asking them to do is it's really difficult. I mean, you can get walk-through reps and do all that, but it's just not the same as going out there and practicing something full speed.
So you mentioned the run reps, right? So you come up with this great plan against the Colts with all this misdirection and fakes and whatever else. He doesn't know how to do that in your offense either, right? It's not just...
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the timing of all those motions, and we got different snap points, and I mean, it's a lot to digest, but he showed that he was capable of handling it throughout the course of the week, and so and sometimes you got to be a little bit more aggressive in that regard in order to try to create some misdirection and keep the defense a little bit more off balance, knowing that we were probably going to try to run the ball a bunch.
Shut up. So,
No, you won't.
well, for a little while. So you've been in the league, what, 10 years now, 12 years?
Who, me?
Yeah, 15 years,
I think
somewhere
it's
in
been
there.
like almost,
08.
I think it's 15.
So-
Getting old, man. It's happened in a hurry.
And I'm sure you've worked your tail off at every stop, but have you had 2 weeks where you and your staff had to work harder to figure out what exactly to do with a player you're still learning? Was it the most challenging 2 weeks as a coach that you think you've had?
I don't want to say that because I think every week's a challenge, no matter who you're playing with. But I think that's just, and I don't look at it like that. I think that's just part of your job. Your job as a coach is to put your players in the best position possible to hopefully give us the best chance of going out there and executing and having success. So every week is a challenge, but I am really proud of the effort that our guys did because, like I've mentioned Steno a bunch, but it's not just him. It's all our assistant coaches, and they all play a big part of not only the plan, because we all get together and go over it, but also in game, just the communication that we have. Guys aren't afraid to speak up on the headset, even when I shoot down some of their ideas, but I try not to do that too much. But I feel like it's a pretty collaborative effort on game day.
Matt, did you shorten any of the play calls? Because you haven't even really come close to a delay or...
That's for those long calls? Yeah, they can be. That's why we got a wristband. So it makes it a lot easier on me. I say wristband number 22, and then the rest is on those guys.
I heard yesterday just about the not turning it over, but I mean, the not even having a delay or taking a timeout, I don't think maybe because of the play clock, I can't think of one.
He's done a really nice job in that regard. And I think it's a credit to the other 10 guys in the huddle as well, just knowing the offense. Because sometimes things can get crazy on game day, and for them to be able to, and there's been times when we've had, you can tell that we're a little messed up or whatever, but we got a bunch of smart guys out there that can figure it out.
You spent a lot of time drawing up plays for Aaron Jones. Now you have to figure out a way to slow him down. What's the biggest challenge?
Who?
Aaron Jones.
Who's that? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, he's a problem. He is, and he looks really good. And I've been able to watch him a little bit. Certainly, he's one of my favorite players that I've ever had the privilege to coach a guy like that. Just in terms of how he goes about his business, and still got a lot of love for him. Just won't have a lot of love for him when we're playing against him.
How have you guys had such success on third down? If you look at Malik, I know it's kind of a small sample size, but he's #1 in yards per attempt, and pass rating is up there, which is maybe not what you expect from my backup quarterback.
Yeah, I think guys are making plays. And then, it's great anytime that you have a quarterback that can make some off-schedule plays. He had 2 critical third down conversions with his legs early on in that game. There was a 3rd and 3 where we scrambled for 20, and then that 3rd and 7 where he was able to pick up 8 yards. Those were 2 timely pickups.
So it's the 3rd and 14 and a 3rd and 18 he picked up.
That was awesome. Yeah, we jumped the ball on 3rd and 14. Rome ran a great route. We hit the coverage that we thought they were going to be in. And the safety took Jaden Reed on that deep post route. And Malik, it all starts up front. I mean, we had great protection on the play, and he was able to hit Rome on the end cut.
So how does a guy like Malik earn the trust in such a short time to do those? It'd be cliche to just say it's 3rd and 18, we're just going to go check it down and punt. But obviously you let him rip on those.
Yeah, he did it in practice. So that's usually where it starts, right? Is when they do it in practice, and you gain that confidence. I know, and then once you see him do some stuff in the game, that gives you even more confidence to call some of that stuff.
More, please.
Matt, did you avoid Flea and Nate again today before talking to us?
I did.
So without getting into the specifics of Tucker's injury, the physicality the guy plays with.
Yeah.
With the shoulder injury, I mean, how important is he to what you're doing right now, and how much do you need him again this week? Do you have to do the red jersey thing and everything else again?
Yeah, probably. I would guess most likely. I mean, Tucker he plays the game the way it's meant to be played. I think he plays with an edge. He plays to the echo of the whistle. You can always count on him giving his best effort. And we certainly, I think his teammates, I know we as a staff, we certainly appreciate just how he plays the game.
Matt, you mentioned how much the coaching staff has been instrumental in these last 2 wins. How instrumental has Jordan been, even though he's on the sideline? Seeing you two talk a little bit, how instrumental?
Yeah, Jordan's been awesome. He's always been a great teammate from the day he's gotten here, and I thought just throughout the course of the week, helping Malik out, just giving him little pointers or things little coaching points. I think he's done a phenomenal job. Just the communication, all of that. He stands right by me on game day. If he sees something, he'll tell me. If Malik needed the play call again, he's standing right there to let me know. I thought he was excellent on the sidelines. I can't say enough great things about him.
Thank you, guys.
All right, have a good one. We'll see y'all.